be beaming, I be booming down that block. Everywhere you go, you know they know I'm hot.
What's up? What's going on, my good people? Welcome back to Rhonda's Real Talk, where people come for the food and they stick around for the conversation. Before we get into this food, I want to ask that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. All right, y'all. Today I'm eating a grilled cheese sandwich and some tomato soup. This is perfect because it is cold outside. Woo! I had started cutting this sandwich. There we go. I didn't cut it all the way through. Inside of the grilled cheese. This is sourdough bread, pepper jack cheese, cheddar cheese. Y'all, I'm obsessed with sourdough bread. That crunch is perfect. Bite for y'all with some soup. Ooh, the soup is hot. We got a little cheese ball. I've been looking forward to this all day. I put some cilantro on top and a little bit of whipping cream. I want to give y'all a bite, but I feel like it's gonna drip. Hold on. There, whoop. Okay, y'all. I'll try. Ooh, it's good. So much flavor. Got some heat on it. This is so good. Oh, that's bomb. The pepper jack cheese. The bread is like buttery. This is perfect. If you want to see how I made this tomato soup, check out my shorts. I will include it here in the video as well, but I'll show you how I made this. So easy to make. So what's up, y'all? I haven't seen y'all in a few days. Y'all, I've been working on other projects. I've been busy and just trying not to burn out. So I was just like, I got to take time and focus on this other stuff. And then when I get done, I can get back to shooting my food videos. Let's see if I got a pull on this. Ooh, yes. Ooh, yes. I love me a good cheese pull. The project I was working on, y'all, I did some stuff for the general election that's coming up. And it was about reproductive justice regarding issue 1. I did some writing, and I also was a guest on a podcast. I'm just waiting for the podcast and stuff to come out. I will include the links on the community tab if anybody wants to check it out. I had so much fun on that podcast, y'all. I met some incredible people. We all had such good chemistry together. Like, it was dope. And just hearing everybody else's, you know, their stories, their experiences, like what they've been up against, what they've made it through. Incredible. I made this soup, tomato soup. I made this yesterday. And I also made a white bean and yellow squash soup. I was just kind of winging it. It turned out good as hell. I have no idea. I don't think I could recreate it because I was just doing whatever and I wasn't recording. I was just like chilling. Like I was in the mood to cook yesterday. It turned out so good. I mentioned it in the recipe. So to cut through the acidity of the tomatoes, I added like a small drizzle of maple syrup. When I tell you, brought it all together, delicious. So good. So what y'all making? What's y'all fall recipes, y'all? What y'all been in the kitchen? What y'all been doing? What kind of soups are you making? Other kind of dishes? Like what things do you make specifically during the cold season? Like when it's starting to get cold or when it is cold, because it's cold. This morning when Honey left, y'all, all the cars in the parking lot had ice on them. All of them did. It was like, I don't know, 29, 30 degrees this morning. Oh, that heat is good. A little heat from, I got a little carried away. I ain't gonna lie, with the chili flakes, I put a lot. But it's good though. Last bite for y'all. The grilled cheese. I love how easy tomato soup is to make. This is my first time making it, y'all. I've had it a bunch of times, but I've never made it. So I probably watched like, I don't know, or I watched or read maybe 15 to 20 different recipes and then decided what I wanted to do. I saw somebody add white beans to add some creaminess to it. I've seen somebody put sugar in it. Some people use a lot of garlic, not so much garlic. That's the best thing about like a recipe. It's just about making it your own, you know? Like I look at any recipe as a guide, you know, lay the foundation for how something is supposed to go, like lead me in the right direction. And then I jump in and kind of do my own thing, you know? But I love how this turned out. I want to make some chili soon. Make some chili, some cornbread. Ooh, them chili flakes kicking in. But it's good though. I love the eating this. So good. I'm about to go ahead and eat the rest of this, y'all. I'll be right back because somebody asked me a question and I want to go ahead and answer it. And of course, get y'all opinion too. So I'll be right back as soon as I'm done with this. All right, y'all. So before I answer this question, if you have a viewer topic, a question, or a situation that you want me to address here on the channel, hit me up at rondasrealtalk@gmail.com, or you can send me a DM on Instagram at rondasrealtalk. All of my contact information is in the description box. All right, so I got this message. I got a DM from Celine. What's up, Celine? Thank you for this message. Also, thank you for watching the channel. I appreciate you. The question is pretty straightforward, but it's definitely something that I've experienced. And so I asked Celine, did she want me to just, respond right back to her? But she was like, no, ask on the channel, because she felt like somebody else might be able to benefit from this. And I couldn't agree more. There might be somebody else that's watching that can relate or take something from this. All right. So the question is, she wanted to know, have I ever lost myself in a relationship? And if I have, what did it look like? What did it feel like? What were the signs that I lost myself? And I believe that many of us can relate to this, have experienced it, are experiencing it right now, real time as you're watching this. And it can look and feel different ways. I don't think that it's just a one size fit all and that everybody has the same experience. So for me, I can identify one relationship specifically. We were together for years. And we were just starting off. We were just two unhappy people looking back. We were not happy individuals that got into a relationship. But when I really started to feel like looking back, I feel like I lost myself. This is how it showed up for me. My sleep was messed up. I was isolating myself. I would talk to my parents all the time, but I wasn't seeing them as much. I wasn't seeing the rest of my family as much, my friends. I didn't really have an opinion about anything. I was going with the flow. Whenever my girlfriend at the time would ask me a question, it was just kind of like, well, whatever you want to do. You want to go? All right, cool. And I would, no, but deep down inside, I really didn't want to go. But it's like, cool. You want to go to your mom's house? All right, cool. Your sister's house? All right, cool. And I would just go, but I wouldn't check in with myself and like really give the answer that, that fit my needs. I didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't chasing after my dreams. I wasn't pursuing anything. I wasn't going after anything that was fulfilling. Like nothing belonged to me. It was just like we almost morphed into one person. There was no individuality. And that was hard and depressing. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, we were already two individuals that weren't happy and shouldn't have been in relationships. And this was a relationship like in my 20s. It was from my 20s going into my 30s. And yeah, like looking back, and I'll tell you that it had to happen because a lot of things came out of it, a lot of realizations, a lot of life lessons and things that have helped me now, that I can now, see and understand. But yeah, like feeling lost, it just, like I said, it affected my sleep. I just felt down. I felt empty. There was just no type of like joy or happiness in my life. Not at all. Like everything was dim. Things were dark. There were no bright moments, and like I said, the relationship lasted for years. And I remember when she broke up with me, y'all, I was devastated. I couldn't believe it because this was my world. Like us just doing this dance with each other every single day, just being up under each other every single day. That had became my entire existence. And it was like, well, what am I supposed to do now? Where am I supposed to go? Like, now I got to go call my friends and try to like go hang out with other people because I've given so much of my life to just you in this relationship, And yeah, like, man, I really lost myself. I did. And y'all know, I tell y'all time and time again that I was a serial relationship person. I love relationships. I love love. I love connection. I love all of that. But back then when I was like in my 20s, in my 30s, most of the dating that I was doing, all of the dating, not even most, all of it that I was doing at the time was a vice. I was running from myself, running from, things that I just didn't want to face, different traumas, different things that I just did not want to face, didn't want to deal with, didn't want to unpack the baggage. I didn't want to deal with none of that shit. So I was basically throwing myself into these relationships. I was using those relationships as a shield to keep me from having to confront my own demons and my own issues. And they were just these cycles over and over and over and over again. They were packaged differently every time. Right. But it ended up always being the same thing, and, man, just years after all the time that went into that. But like I said, so many life lessons, so much understanding came out of it while I was doing it, and thought I was doing something different, trying to outrun something else, but it ended up being the exact same thing. Like I said, it might have been packaged a little bit different, but in the end, it was the same type of woman having the same type of experience, and these things just coming up constantly. So, losing yourself in a relationship, I think it's very easy to just jump into a routine. It's really easy to be on autopilot. Like many of us can live our lives and do what we got to do without really like paying attention, and you really got to be tapped in and be intentional and be conscious and be aware of what's going on in your life and in your relationship, and one of the biggest things that I feel like I started to understand was that obviously I needed time by myself. So from the end of 2019 and into 2020, so about 8 or 9 months I was single. And I just did very intense work on myself. Like every single day, I was committed to working on myself. And I learned a lot about myself. I discovered so much about myself, good and bad. It wasn't all good. But, I found some things that I really loved about myself, and being lost, I felt like, look, for my situation, being lost was a clear indication for me that I never knew myself to begin with, and it's like, you think like, okay, I've been me my entire life. How can I not know who I am? But when you think about it, so much of our life is built on other people. Like our identity is just rooted in other people, people that we're around, that are part, we are influenced by, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like we just make all of these decisions as soon as we're, 12 years old, 15 years old. That's not how it is. So much of who we are, how we think, our values, our belief systems belong to other people. And my identity nothing was mine, but I never really took the time to just be with myself and spend time with myself long enough to figure out what I wanted. What were my true values? Did Rhonda really believe the things that have been around her entire life? And no, I didn't. A lot of things just didn't add up. A lot of things I didn't agree with anymore. Those things were outdated. I had outgrown those things, but I didn't discover that until I was by myself. It's so much you can find in solitude. And I know a lot of us are afraid to be alone, but I'm telling you, like, just being in a toxic cycle or being in a relationship that you shouldn't be in, I mean, it's not beneficial to you or the other person at all. It's not doing anybody any type of justice, You owe it to yourself to be in a happy, healthy, thriving relationship. And I feel like really the best way to get there is to work on the relationship with yourself. Like master yourself, and I know that we're all constantly changing and evolving. So you'll have to keep on, tapping in and rediscovering and exploring yourself. But, if you're completely disconnected from yourself, how can you connect to someone else? That's just the question, and I was so disconnected, so out of it, I didn't have a clue about myself. So present day, I feel like I'm handling my relationship very different. I'm very intentional about checking in with myself all the time. I'm curious about myself. I'm curious about my partner. Like I know that she's going to change, and I remain curious about that. And I remain open. I'm dedicated to being a safe space to who she becomes. And I have that in return, But, it can be tough. Your longest relationship is the one with yourself. And for many of us, that's the worst relationship that we've ever been in, for many different reasons, But take the time out. If you feel like that you've been wanting to spend time by yourself, be by yourself, take a break from relationships, do it. Those things are on your heart and your mind and in your conscious for a reason. Like, the universe and God wants you to get to where you're going. And many of us are just standing in the way. And sometimes just it's ending that relationship and spending time by yourself is what's going to get you to where you're trying to go. You know what I mean? So, because I just think about all the moments where I felt like I was just going nowhere. I was going nowhere in life. That's when the moments in my life when I was being a hater, hating on other people. Just like I said, all that darkness, it was bleak. Just, not pursuing anything. Just a lot of laziness. Just all that shit. Like, it was because I just didn't know me. I didn't know me. You know what I mean? And I also have improved my relationship with God significantly. That was something I've talked about previously as well. So, being obedient and surrendering to God and surrendering to what God had for me and really tapping into myself, man, the best gift I've ever given myself in my entire life. The best thing I've ever done for myself is doing that, taking that time out. And that's, experiencing true solitude, sitting in silence. Days at a time. Like, I'm telling y'all, I would spend days, I wouldn't even have any music on. I would just be sitting there. And it was just so much clarity and so much information just waiting on me. You know what I mean? And I know that we all aren't fortunate enough to just sit in silence like that. Silence is for sure a luxury because we have so much noise and so many responsibilities. But if you can, there's a lot in silence. If you have the time to do it, you will discover so much about yourself. So hopefully I answered the question. I hope I'm never lost in I hope I never lose myself again. I hope that I will, because of where I am and how much I've matured and how much I've learned about myself and how much I love myself, how much more I love myself now present day. I'm really hoping that I can keep that from happening. I don't want to lose myself. Like, I love being connected to who I am, and allowing myself, like I said, to remain curious and allow myself to keep on changing and becoming whoever I'm going to be, whatever the next version of me is, I welcome that person in freely, openly, and I'm excited about where we're gonna go, you know. So that's it, y'all. So again, if you have a question for me, a topic or a situation you want me to address here on the channel, my contact information is in the description box. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, y'all. I missed y'all. I'm happy to be here. I hope y'all enjoyed. Make the best of the day. Be good to yourself, y'all. Peace.
I be beaming, I be booming down that block. Everywhere you go,